welcome to week 6 of our cool live little sessions that we've had going on every Tuesday. This is cool. I've been having so much fun.
It is good fun. Yeah.
It's really, really cool. And so today we're talking about marketing, social media marketing. There's lots of questions. I get them from agents to me, myself, because I use social media marketing. Basically, that's how my business has been built, is just purely on social media. So I get lots of agents asking me questions. I get lots of buyers asking me questions about how, is it worth it? Is paper still, the newspaper still worth it? Is letterbox shops still worth it? And what's my opinion on that? And I really think that we should really address and go through all those things and work out what's the best strategy for real estate agents. What do you reckon?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm all up. I'm ready for this.
All right. Well, me too. It's a really cool subject, and it's I love it because social media is, so consumable. Everybody is wanting, everybody's on it. The older people
in one way or another, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah.
And it's just fast, quick, easy to digest. It's and obviously we're going to get to how it's actually targeted. It's targeted audiences that isn't like the newspaper where it just goes to everybody or whoever buys it and whoever consumes it that way, and hoping that someone would grab the attention. So social media is a really cool thing. So there's two different ways, is your organic reach, your organic audiences, and paid audiences. So we're going to touch a fair bit on that and the differences, because we want a bit of both. So do you want to? Yeah. So will we start on this? The differences between those two?
Yeah. Should we introduce our guest?
Oh yes, and please everyone, Mandy Davies from Unified Marketing. So she's a marketing strategist who knows way more than what Mark and I do on this subject.
Correct.
Because this is her profession. So this is really cool to have her on and get her insights, so she can actually delve into and really hone in on the strategy behind it and why we need to do it, and know your agent is totally across it.
Well, there is a strategy, isn't there? And obviously over to you, Mandy, about, I guess, how you think it's important when you're putting a property out there on social media. It's not just a matter of clicking a button, is it?
No, definitely not. So there's definitely a strategy behind it, and it's really about making yourself aware that there is a system behind the scenes going on, that you really want to be talking to an agent from a seller's perspective. So as a homeowner looking to sell your property, you want to be talking to an agent that understands that process and is educated around all the steps involved in making sure that your house is positioned to the best target audience possible. So yeah.
So that's really paid, going with the paid audiences. But there's also a lot of work in the background for organic. And so the difference between organic and paid, organic is the audiences coming to us or to the person, to the real estate agent, as opposed to paid, where we're sending out ads and targeting audiences to, to basically hit them on their social media to grab their attention. So organic is Mark being the amazing person he is, and people just liking this fella and just going, I'm going to follow him. Also has that reputation of, how he can sell homes and how quick he sells homes and the good reputation he has. So people will follow his social media pages just on that. That's organic, because people are coming to him. Whereas paid is using another strategy like what you do, Mandy, where you can really hone in on audiences. Like if Mark's selling an apartment, for instance, you can hone in and add and target to young couples that have just moved into the area, or young professionals, as opposed to just putting it out there and hoping everyone's sort of seeing it.
Yeah, definitely. So if you've got, say you're selling a house on a bit of acreage, then that's really going to appeal to a certain type of buyer. Not everybody's looking to upsize. People that are getting later on in life are looking to downsize. So you're not going to be tailoring the content and targeting that kind of audience. So it's really about looking at what your property is. You know, if you've got a house that's in a retirement village, again, different target audience to, say, a first home buyer. So understanding who your audience is, and then being able to create content and create ads that are going to appeal to those people, but also target them through direct targeted marketing strategies.
And that's as simply as just adjusting the age of the audience that you want that to go to, correct? So if you're selling a property that, again, like you just mentioned, in a retirement village, then you're not going to target that to the 20, 30-year-olds in St. Razor, are you? You're going to adjust that so then that appeals to
because like to buy in a retirement village, usually you have to be a certain age before you even purchase. So you would be stupid to be going and throwing money at an audience that is, 30 years younger than the target audience that you're looking for. So understanding how to create ads that are going to target, and then using if you've got an advertising budget of, say, $200 for digital marketing, then using that to target the people that are actually going to be able to buy your house is really important.
And you can really hone in and narrow an audience down to the point where, you can do obviously by gender, by age, you can do by their interests, which is really, really cool. You can see where they're living, what their professions are. And that's all information through Facebook, especially, that we're able to tap into, which is pretty amazing.
And scary.
And scary.
Yeah, a little bit scary. But, if you're selling a product, you want to make sure that you're pushing it to the right. It's just like with TV advertising, you notice after school, that's all KFC, McDonald's, it's kids ads and stuff like that. Yeah. They know when to advertise and where to do it. And that's, if it doesn't matter whether you're a multi-million-dollar corporation or you're selling lemonade from a lemonade stand, you need to make sure you're doing it in a place that's going to be seen, and I guess that's, and if you're spending money to promote that particular business, you want to make sure that your money is getting well spent, I think where we're getting at. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And I guess the organic way where the audience is attracted to your page, that are coming to you, it's really important for people to know that your agent should have genuine likers. I guess you can actually buy likers. You can buy likes. You can buy people to follow you just so your numbers look really good, so you look really popular, which is, I guess, a little bit not very authentic. But I mean, there's two sides of that, because you can push it out, your information to a wider audience, but these people are necessarily probably not even interested in you, not interested in real estate. They're just flicking through, they're just following. So what are your thoughts on that?
So people that buy audiences, it's a very frowned upon tactic within the marketing world. So what happens is it looks good because you've got lots of followers. So people go, this agent's got the most followers in Mildura, we'll go with him because he's really popular. But if bought followers are not from your target area, so they're not going to be from Mildura, they're generally from like Bangladesh or India or some sort of region far away, and they're not people that are going to be investors either. So when you're buying that audience, what happens is, yes, your page likes go up, but it's not going to get you any traction. It's not going to get you a house sale. So as a seller looking to sell your home, you really want to be talking to an agent and asking them to see their insights. Because if I was looking at an agent and in the top, 20 geographical locations of people were coming from overseas, then I'd be starting to ask questions that they're not, that's not an authentic audience. It's good to have investors. Investors are out there, but if, in the top 20, you've got Bangladesh or, one of those really third world sort of countries following your page, it's not going to be an authentic following. They're going to be.
I started my page a few years ago, and it was purely to, I guess, help me get a better result for. It's all about awareness, isn't it? And making sure that when you're promoting your vendor's property, that that they're seeing it. And because digital is such a big scenario right now, and as you mentioned, shown earlier, that everyone is on it. I don't know what the percentage is, but it'd be a high number of people that are on it in some form. You want to make sure that they have the opportunity to see this particular house for sale if that's what they're looking for. So for me as an agent, it's all about making sure that I'm driving people to my open homes, or I have people calling me to ensure that there's that they want to have a look at this home, and it's a really critical thing right now. And I mentioned it last week that we've just got a short amount of time to get that super result, and it's getting shorter and shorter as the world goes on, and it's because the information's there ready to go immediately as soon as you press that post button. So I think it's really important that your audience is are buyers, but and not everyone on my page are genuinely looking to buy now, but it's also, people love real estate. They want to be informed. They want to be kept up to date with what's going on in the market. It is the most talked about scenario and topic at the dinner table, when for dinner parties. So it's the same thing for a lot of people. I walk up the street, a lot of people just want to know where the market's at. So it's great to keep people informed, but I need to make sure that I'm driving people to my homes, to my vendors' homes, because the statistics show that the more people that see it through social media, the more buyers I'm getting at opens.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And even just knowing what to feed out to people so that they come, like, we're a more educated society than we ever have been before. So the power of being able to feed out that content quickly and efficiently is really, really important, because Mark, you would notice that buyers are coming to houses now more informed on what that property looks like before the first open. So by the time they get to that first open, they're almost ready to put an offer in. They just want to see, they review the property and make sure it's what they're expecting.
15 years ago, there was no information on a home. You couldn't find any information. If someone rang up and want an appraisal, that was the information you had. You didn't know what they paid for it. You didn't know when they last bought it, how long they'd been there for. More often than not, every weekend when I'm meeting buyers, they when they're coming to the open, they know when it was last purchased, who purchased it, what date it was, how long the current owners have been there for, who owned it before them. Information is at the fingertips. So, a lot of buyers are making these decisions, and they are doing their research, and they, as you mentioned, come armed with this information. And that's why it's important for me with what I do through social media is giving that information to them. So when they come at an open and they believe that it's right for them, once they get to the home and they think, yep, that's right for them, then with the information they've got, bang, next thing comes is generally an offer. So yeah, information is not just about, I guess, it's different. It's changing all the time. And, like I said, we didn't know 10, 15 years ago, there was absolutely no information that we could get on any particular sale. So it's changed a lot, and buyers have all that information.
It is it's keeping the industry honest as well, isn't it? Everyone can, can do the research and do their homework and know what it's all about. So, and that's why, presenting the property, even though you've got the stats out there to the research that you're doing and working out what the property's about. But I guess that's when presenting the property is that next level. It's that, getting them to, like, it's almost like Instagrammable houses. You know what I mean? People are going through social media. They like seeing beautiful things. It grabs their eyes, grabs their attention. So that's why it's really important to have that well-rounded marketing strategy so that you are top of the list, front of mind.
Buyers don't want to pay too much for a home, and vendors don't want to undersell their home. They're the two biggest fears, and making sure that your vendors can be sure, and we again discussed it last week, you need to be sure that when you're signing the contract, that you've alleviated that fear of underselling your home, and you know that you've done absolutely everything in your power that all the buyers have been through that potentially may have been interested, and you've made so that fear of underselling's gone once you've gone through this process. When it comes to the fear of overpaying, you know, when it comes to buyers, a lot of buyers say, you know, if they're feeling in a panic with a certain home because they feel like they're going to miss out on it, my response to them is just pay what you're prepared to pay, what you think it's worth to you, not what I think, not what your friends think, not what the vendor wants necessarily. It is what you think you're prepared to pay. And if whatever that figure is, make an offer at that. And that's genuinely, I guess, when they feel like, okay, well, that's the figure, that's the number in my head. Most buyers will have a number in their head, you know, where they're, you know, they have a gut feeling with that particular home. So yeah, it's a fear for both, but can be alleviated. And if you fall in love with that home, sometimes it doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, that's right.
Pay what you got to pay.
You're buying the lifestyle sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
You're buying your happiness. So you're exactly right there. So marketing tools to get in front. So what do you suggest, Mandy, as a package where you can actually get to greater audiences and honing in? And what are the good results? And I think you've got some stats that you want to go through too, Mark, but where are we getting really good results?
Yeah, so you want to be seen on digital. That's absolutely without a doubt now. You want to be questioning what platforms they're on based on what your property is. You know, if you've got that lifestyle sort of property, then you want to be seen definitely on your sort of 30 sort of plus age groups. You know, first home buyers, potentially you want to be positioning your product, your house even on Instagram. Instagram stories is a good one for that sort of.
Should we start doing TikTok? I'm keen.
Hey.
Kids can show me how it works.
That's a hot topic at the moment, but they actually, I heard a statistic earlier this year that the most commonly searched hashtag on TikTok is actually office life. So although they're telling us that TikTok is a really young generation, that just proves that the older generations are actually, like, there's an older demographic on TikTok than what people actually believe. So interesting topic, potentially, maybe. Give it a go. Let me know how it goes.
Start the real estate revolution on TikTok. I don't know how we can do it. I can't dance and I can't sing, so we'll have to come up with something.
Most of them can't, and that's why I get sucked down the rabbit hole of TikTok because it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I watched one the other day with a group of mums dancing, and I thought, oh, that's so much fun.
Yes.
Got to get on it. Yeah, so just knowing, even, you know, real estate agents tend to go straight to Facebook, which is, it's great. There's a huge audience there and you can really target who you're talking to, but it's not the only platform. And, you know, if you're selling a retirement village house, then I would 100% say don't bother with Instagram because they're not going to be on there. The buyers that you're looking for just will not be on that platform. So save your money. Don't post it onto that platform. But if we're looking at, you know, first home buyers, potentially 1 or 2 images would work really well on Instagram. It's really just about knowing who you're talking to and then looking at, okay, where is that demographic? Are they hanging out on Instagram? Are they hanging out on Facebook? Are they, you know, are they potentially a professional services based sort of worker, and potentially they're on LinkedIn? Who knows? So it's really just about understanding your audience and then building out a strategy from there that's going to appeal to that kind of buyer.
That's right. And so basically, if it's overwhelming for anyone that's listening and they're a seller or a buyer and they're overwhelmed with this information, that's why it's really important to get an agent that actually knows them as across all this stuff. So you don't have to worry about it and they're just doing the best they can for your property. So you've got some stats there, Mark.
Yep, I do. I just, and look, it's, I guess, Mandy, do you want to sort of explain the difference between reach and engagement just before I get into it? So when you post you want to discuss that?
Yeah, so reach it's sort of where it's blasted out to, but they don't necessarily engage with it. So it's like if people
they see it, but they don't actually click it.
That's right. They don't slow down for it. They don't engage with it. So then you're engaging. So when people actually stop and engage with the post, and that's what matters. So people often go, oh, but I got this much reach, but you really want to know who's being engaged with your post because otherwise it's irrelevant. Like you could throw it out to, you know, throw it out to the world, and if no one engages with it, then I'd be concerned that the content is not, whether it's the images that you're using or the written content around it, then I'd be questioning if that is the wrong strategy. So you really want to, when you're looking at those statistics, you want to know the engagement, and you also want to know the conversion on that. So, if, like I said to Mark this morning, how many people that come to the open inspections have first seen it on digitally and who's seen it from the paper. Like, they're important statistics to know, because you want to know where they're coming from, where they're seeing it. So you've got to look at the house as a product, really, and say,
there's definitely a common theme, and I see it when people engage with my posts. They can go through that process that we discussed last week, download a section 32 or information on the property, and you'd see the list of buyers that are coming through on that weekend, and 75% of those have actually engaged with the bot system on Facebook. So it's a high there. There's no doubt that I believe, I don't know the statistics exactly, but I'm sure that a minimum of 50% of the buyers, I think, now are seeing it on social media first, or they're getting their friends tagging them in this because they know that they want to buy a house, and then bang, they're seeing it from getting sold by the properties to them by their friends. So, but I guess there's the market's strong at the moment. It's almost back to what it was pre-COVID, which is crazy to think, because there was a time only a couple of months ago that things were pretty quiet. But there's a couple of properties. 406 San Mateo went to the market last weekend. We had engagement of nearly 12,000 and a reach of about 1,200. Reach of about 12,000 and engagement of about 1,200. We had a massive sort of first weekend of buyers. We wrapped that property up by the Wednesday. We had 3 offers, and we got a really solid result at the top of the range.
Brilliant.
John Monash was the one that we launched on the weekend prior. Again, engagement was nearly 2,000. Reach was nearly 12,000. We went to best and finals. We had 5 offers, unconditional $5,000 offer, $5,000 over the top of the range. So super result there. Cherry Avenue is going to auction. I've already had, it goes to auction next weekend. I've already had 3 offers on that. Engaged nearly 2,000 people. Once again, reach of up to 10,000. So it's definitely, these properties are getting seen. And then obviously some buyers might then see it in the paper, and it's enough for them to come and have a look. So I expect that, there might be a bit of interest in that auction next Friday. Pinnacle Estate was a new subdivision I've launched. At this stage, we've got 9 lots on hold. Sorry, did I cut out then?
It's all right. You're back.
At this stage, I've got 9 lots on hold. Again, over 2,000 engaged. And Charlene Street was a ripper that I took to the market on the weekend. We're going to wrap that up on Thursday. A couple of offers yesterday, expecting a couple more today. That one's engaged nearly 5,000 people. Beautiful little place, styled really nicely, and presented sensational. So there's a common thread with the ones that engage and reach out really well. The ones that really sort of get a lot of comments and likes and shares. It seems to be that they're the ones that we're getting, solid interest from and solid results.
And let's put this into perspective. Like, you're talking 2,000 engagement for some of those and 5,000 just then for that last one. Like, that's a lot of people that are getting in touch, like actually touching on that property. So if you've got an agent that's just purely going by their database and sending out emails, the email open rate right now is about 1 to 2%. People aren't looking at their emails. So, depending on the size of the database, that's not a lot of numbers compared to an instant of, putting that on social media and going bang, 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 all of a sudden 5,000, 2,000, and reaching 12,000 people, and then you're wrapping it up in the week. That's insane. This is why you need to use social media.
And you think about social media right now, like for me, I'm still working at home. Sadly, I thought I was going back to work next week, but it looks like running out of the office here at home for another month. you know, a lot of people are relying on social media at the moment because there's not a lot else to do, right? So, you know, there's definitely a bigger audience there now than maybe what there was a few months ago. More time on hands, and I think that's, yeah. So there's definitely a correlation there, and I think that, you know, there's no one, as I mentioned last week, you know, you've got to promote in different areas, but certainly social media is fairly damaging, you know, at the moment, and we're getting massive results from it.
Yeah, and why not embrace it? Why not embrace what's new, what's happening, what's not really new now, but you know, there's obviously new ways, and that's why you have someone like, you know, like yourself, Mark, that's, you know, engaged Mandy to keep up with stuff, because things in social media change all the time as well. Like your algorithms change, the strategies change, and the other thing is too. I did have a thought before, is when you have got someone like Mandy doing your social media marketing, and you've got ads going out. You can have 4 different types of ads going out, and what's not working, the ad's not working, she can pull that and go, that one's not working, so let's save you money here and let's pour more money into the one that's actually working. So, you know, it's on the, you know, it's working so well where you're saving money and you're getting like directed in the right direction.
Well, it's tangible.
Cool.
It's tangible, right? So
yeah.
You know what, you know whether the money you're outlaying, you're getting results, and you can. Whereas sometimes the hard thing for people to grasp in any other medium of advertising, whether that's TV, radio, print media, you know, sometimes it's hard to gauge whether you're actually getting anything out of that business. And, you know, a lot of people say sometimes it's just good, you know, for branding, but, you know, sometimes you need to know that you're getting something for your business, you know, and for your clients. So I think the powerful thing is that you can go, right, this is working, this isn't working, let's change it, like you mentioned, and spend the money where we know that it's going to get results, and we find more buyers, etc.
Absolutely, it's instant. It takes a week to change something in the paper. You know,
social
media is, you can do it within an hour, and you're changing and you're redirecting in your targeted audiences. And like you say, you can put something up on your page, and organically all your followers are tagging all their friends, and it's just so instant. You'd be crazy not to use it.
I remember a long time ago, it was probably 10 years ago that we started Sumo Salad, or 11 years ago, and I did a full page advertisement in the newspaper, and it said, just tear this coupon out and come in and get a free coffee. And guess how many I got redeemed in that 2 weeks after that? 0.
Oh.
Zero. Yeah. So I literally thought, right, I'm going to buy some extra coffee beans. I'm going to make sure that I know exactly what's going to happen here. I'm going to get extra milk, make sure there's going to be a rush. There's going to be a line up at the door. Everyone's going to come on and get a free coffee. Not one. So, yeah, that was tangible. I knew what happened. I got nothing out of that. Nothing against print, because I love print, and I know that what we do in the guide is massive, and we definitely get a big response from buyers from all different areas. But, you know, obviously this is what we're discussing today, and it's a big part of what I do.
I think it's the whole package. You need the whole package, and have that agent that does that, you know, knows that you need to use all of it. So, but predominantly.
There's still people that go and get the paper on a Saturday just to go home and circle what properties they want to go and look at. Like there's still a market for that, and you still need to be within there, but it's not the only place you want to be. And if you're talking to an agent that is not aware of the different opportunities that are out there and how to position a property on each platform, then you need to be looking at talking to somebody that does.
Yeah. It's interesting. I was at an open on the weekend. It was an interesting weekend. We had 9 opens, met 82 separate buyers on the weekend. So big, again, back to pre-COVID numbers, you know, lots of people definitely enforced the health guidelines. We actually had, I think 24 groups through that little one in Charlotte on the weekend. And we had probably 15 or 20 people waiting out the front because we couldn't allow them in because we were at our capacity in the house. So, but you know, everyone's different, and I understand everyone's. You know, like I met a couple that have a house that they're considering selling, and they said to me they didn't really want the hoo-ha when it come to selling their home. They didn't really want a signboard, and they didn't want the marketing, and they didn't really want anything that went with it. And it was an interesting conversation, and it's just important to understand that, you know, everyone is different, and everyone, you know, not everyone wants to put it up there in lights for whatever reason that is, and I respect that. So, you know, that I had to then sort of have a frank conversation with them and say, if you really, really, really want to sell your home, and you really, really, really want the best price, then, you know, you can't sell a secret. You need to put it out there in some way that you feel comfortable with. So, and that's important, you know, that I certainly understand that not everyone wants it, you know, broadcasted out that people are selling. For some reasons, you know, people might be leaving the district, and they just don't want people to know yet. So, you know, it's real estate's, you know, you've got to have an understanding of knowing when to push a property, and maybe sometimes you don't.
I reckon that's the best catchphrase I've ever heard. You can't sell a secret. I love that.
I was going to touch on that too, because you can't. So people don't know what they don't know. And like Mark said, some people aren't actively.
That's because it's a secret.
But for the right
you can't sell a secret.
I love it.
I'll let you use it.
Yeah, thanks. I love it. It's all over my stuff now. But
it's just really important to remember that, because you know, not everybody's actively in the market, but for the right house, some people are. So, you know, some people might be just comfortable in the house they're in, and, you know, if the right house comes along, then they'll jump at that opportunity.
Yeah.
So,
you know how I mentioned before that the biggest fear sometimes is a vendor underselling their home, is that you don't alleviate that fear when you sell it off market. So you'll never know. You'll never ever know. Now, again, situation, there was someone, a family that they didn't want to advertise, and I respect that. And we took 4 or 5 buyers through. One of them bought it, and, you know, the result, I believe, was you know, smack on, and the buyer was happy, the vendor was happy. And I spoke to them about it. I said, "You sure you don't want to go to the market?" And they just said, "We just don't. We don't want. You know, we would like to sell it off market. We're very happy with the result." I don't think they'll ever know whether that was their true result, but at the end of the day, they're happy. So that's the main thing. So things can be done off market. There's no question, you know, but at the end of the day, I think, you know, for me, it's that niggling feeling is, I could have got them more money potentially, and it was their decision in the end.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, as long as everyone's happy, that's for sure. But if you really want to give yourself that extra chance, you know, then that's where you take the secret away, get it out there.
That's right.
I love it, love it. So what else do we need to touch on, guys? We've done it. That's pretty cool. Video, actually, I want to touch on video. Video is really consumable. It's really easy for people to follow video. I think, you know, that could be part of your marketing strategy. Again, that's probably up to the agent and stuff, but if you've got an agent that's actually comfortable to do videos, you are going to win on your social media, like, reach and engagement as well, because people can watch videos when they're walking, when they're multitasking, basically, and they don't have to read things. So video is very important. So if you've got an agent that's, you know, happy to put themselves out there and get in front of the video, that's a big win for me.
I'll do it.
Good.
Yeah, no, I think the videos are super, super important, because it just gives because a lot of you get a lot of people that say, oh, the photos didn't actually do it justice. Or the photos make it look better. It's either or. Sometimes you have a house and it looks amazing, and then the photos just don't do it justice for whatever reason. Sometimes it's the colors. I don't know. With older homes, sometimes they don't pop as much as they do with modern homes. But the videos just give you a really good insight on, you know, how a house can flow as well, if you do that sort of the vision of going through the home. So I think they're super, super important. And again, more engagement, therefore potentially more buyers.
Absolutely.
And even the property you did up on, I think it was on 12th Street last week, using video to show not just what the house looked like, but the region around and what you could do with by living in that property. That's something you can't do with a still image. So you can get a lot more out in your messaging through a video in that sort of situation. So
well, then, you know, yeah, exactly. And for a lot of people, why they want to sell and they want that particular property was ideal for a retiree or it is. It's ideal for a retiree, but, you know, it's not to say the retiree is going to buy it. For them wanting to move to that particular location is exactly why I mentioned that you can go to Nash Lane, you can go to St. Regis Celador, you can walk down to the river, you can do all those things quite easily. You can pick the grandkids up from school, your kids up from school, because it's right near St. Joe's. You need to sell the whole story, and that's, I guess, why the videos are super duper important, because, you know, that's there's many reasons why people become a buyer. And it's often for the lifestyle that it offers.
Yeah, and if you can showcase that to the best, you know, and, you know, some people don't get the chance to, if there are investors from out of town, you can actually see more in a video than you can in photos of the property, the feel of it, the vibe of it, and vibe's very real, the energy of it. So yeah, it's definitely worth the exercise, that's for sure. All right, do we have any questions at all, Mandy, today?
Today, we must have answered them all.
We must have answered them all.
Obviously. I reckon there's a few people out there writing down "you can't sell a secret" in their notepad today.
Most used catchphrase of 2020.
Yeah. I reckon, yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard that one when I first started real estate. It's pretty common in the real estate world, but it's true. It's absolutely true, and I guess that's why I really embrace that. You know, you know, there's no doubt that if I didn't think the marketing of these properties worked, I wouldn't continue to do them, and I just continually see really great results from doing this. And, you know, and I guess it always ends up with happy customers, and that's what it's about. That's what this is about. It's about, you know, this person engaging me as their agent, making sure that, you know, I can do the best job for them. So, and, you know, with the results that we get consistently because of, I believe, the way we put it out there and make sure that we're getting, you know, targeting all these different buyers in different areas, then, you know, the results often come.
It's so cost effective as well. Do you agree?
Yeah. And, you know, like everyone said, like, not everyone, every now and then you get, I'm not in a hurry. It's okay. I'm not in a hurry. Then 3 weeks later, Mark, why haven't you got an offer? You know, and it often comes down to sometimes price, but, you know, how we promoted it, you know, and if they're pulling, making smaller ads, or they're doing the things that probably I didn't recommend at the start. You know, there is nothing worse. There is nothing worse than when you're 4, 5, 6 weeks down the line of advertising your property. For me, and also the vendor, you know, there's that feeling that no one wants my home. Why isn't it someone coming in at least making an offer? Why aren't we getting people to the open inspections? What's wrong? What's wrong with the house? Is the location wrong? You know, and it typically all leads back to how we did it at the start. Not always, but typically leads back to, you know, how we came to the price, how we came to where we're going to promote the property. And I know for a fact that it's a lot easier to get a really good, short, sharp, high price result than it is to be on the market for 3 or 4 months. Because I've done both plenty of times, and it's a hell of a lot better for everyone when, you know, everyone can celebrate. It's a good feeling when you know you've got multiple people that want your home. It's a good feeling. It's the complete opposite when no one does.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a brilliant feeling, and just to be able to move on as well, because if it's dragging on, that's really, really tough. It's really tough on your psyche, your energy, and, you know, even multiple open homes is really tough on the family as well. So, you know, I think it's been so much better if you can go full noise, like just you know, go as hard as you can. You know, you're spending the money on marketing anyway. Let's do it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the market here, because it's moving so quickly, people start to think, oh, well, what's wrong with that property if it's been on for a while? So you really don't want to be sitting on the market.
You're more likely to get lowball offers. People see that the sign's been there, it's starting to fade. You know, there's yeah, it's they wonder whether, and you buyers say, well, how come that one hasn't sold? What is there something wrong with it? You know, and you do not want that. So you need to adjust really quickly. You need to be listening to the market, the advice, what they're saying with regards to the price or the promotion, or whether it's, you know, something that probably should have been fixed prior to going to the market. So, and that's, you know, as we've discussed through these lives, you know, take those objections out, and, you know, you want to make sure that, you know, you're not waiting for a buyer to rock up in 6 weeks' time. You have these buyers and they are scrambling to make it theirs. Yeah. You know, I used the one in John Manish on the weekend. We wrapped that up at 3 o'clock on Saturday. 5 offers came in, and the lady that bought it, she only came through that Saturday, that open. It was a real quick decision, but it was the right decision for her. She loved the property. She fell in love with it. She knew she had an hour and a half to make that decision. And she had the capacity to throw in a really good offer, and she did. And, you know, it's exciting for her because it's, you know, she's excited for the next step. You know, she blew everyone out of the water, and, you know, there's a lot of disappointed buyers, but at the end of the day, she wanted that property right or wrong. And it was, yeah, you know, there for the taking, and she took it. So it's just another example of, you know, what that competition creates.
Yeah. Yep. Perfect. All right. So that's it. Social media is the go. Get on it, peeps.
Do it.
Do it.
Any questions, of course, yell out. And yeah, look, it's been good because I've had lots of people come up, and interesting that the family that I was talking to on the weekend that weren't comfortable about marketing watched our episode last week. So I think that's sort of been why they asked me the question, and believe that maybe they should come around to the way of thinking. But again, it's not for everyone, but, you know, I'm hoping that what we're doing and just taking half an hour to educate people that aren't sure about what to do and whether what they're thinking is the right thing or the wrong thing.
Absolutely, for sure. And, you know, we just want people to have the best outcomes, and, you know, do the things in life that makes them happy, and that's what we're all about.
That's it.
Coolio. Wow, this is a great chat, guys. I love it.
Thanks, really, Mandy.
Yes, thanks so much, Mandy. If anyone's got any questions, please just, you know, pop them in the comments below, and we'll get back to you and answer those. So you can always call Mark if you're ready to put your house on the market or you're looking at property. And what
about you, Mandy? As in, like, there's lots of businesses out there that are probably thinking whether you're a cafe or a business just opening up or whatever it is. You know, it's a massive platform, isn't it? So they've got the ability to talk to you.
Yeah, definitely. I offer free discovery sessions. So by all means, if you have got a business and you're just wondering how to market your business, or, you know, what's involved with it, then please, by all means, get in touch and reach out. Even just put a comment below, and I'll make sure that I monitor Mark's comments and get back to you. Because, if you're not online marketing your business now, then you need to seriously question what it is you're doing, because there is so many people. It really doesn't matter what your product or service is. There is definitely a market for you online. And it's something that you need to be. You don't have to know the nitty-gritty of how to do it, but you definitely need to have an understanding of who's out there and how you can target them and how you can maximize your dollar online over, you know, more traditional methods.
Absolutely. Get the professionals to support you. Yes,
that's right. Yeah. I'll leave it all up to Mandy. She does a good job, and it's good. You know, I know that I'm getting results, you know, for great results for my clients, and, you know, there's yourself, Mandy, a big part of that now, and obviously you, Shona, with all your work. So it's good to have a little team.
It's a cool team. Loving it.
It's a cool team.
No one can be all over everything anymore. It's impossible. Like, I know as a marketer that's actively in my industry, like, it's evolving so quickly. It's hard for me to stay on top of everything. So there's no way, Mark, that you could be on top of everything to do with marketing plus real estate and showing you with styling, like
plus 15 kids and
really
I did a half an acre of weeding on the weekend, and wow, it was like a mountain of weeds. So I wouldn't have time to do great things like that.
Oh,
Thanks, guys. Good session.
Thanks so much. It's been a great session. So yeah, definitely put in the comments if you want to know more, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.